Hi friends, good evening. This is Rajkumar from RajKumar Hotel Heroes YouTube platform. Last week I had started to speak to you and briefed how my hotel career started from 1986 to 2021, about 35 years of travel. Welcome back. Let's continue on the hotel and everything about the hotel during this 35 years. I briefed about how the hotel industry evolved from BC to AD and then the 10th century, 12th century, and we came up to how and the way the tents got converted to small little houses, and basically it started improving on the service industry. Now let's continue from where and how the facilities started adding up the flavor to the industry. 1841 and 1852, two hotels were opened in Munich, Germany. 1862 in Paris, the first orchestra, that's the background music or the live orchestra, started playing in a bar or restaurant. You find usually duo or solo. So in 1862, they thought about giving some live music instead of pipe music, which you find on the floors and in the lobby level. In 1890, the first electricity was completely given into a hotel, and the lighting facilities from all the corners started, like in the lobby, the chandelier, the rooms. So basically the electricity was a main area where, like, it lights up, and then when a hotel is closed, you can easily make out that there are no lights. Even a house is closed, you can make from a building at a distance, like there are some flats which are vacant. Same way, 25% of the hotel glitter shines in the evening hours and the night hours, because that's how a hotel is presented to the public on the roads and main roads and in the city levels. So electricity plays a major role to the hotel industry as well. In 1869, the hydraulic lift started. Those times the modern lifts what you find now were not available, but however they found out, like, when you want to lift up the weight or whatever the number of people to travel up the other way, they have to bring down the weight using the hydraulic technicalities. So that was the thing. And in 1901 and I would say 1982, the central heating, like sort of a AC, sort of the thought of bringing in AC, like to cool down the rooms and then the lobby level. So the central heating started, like, in 1901. And to go back a little bit, in 1873, a royal hotel for kings and queens have started. Like, now what do you find now? The politicians using Taj, and then huge hotels, the biggest hotel, branded hotels, Marriott and Ritz-Carlton and all over the world, used by celebrities, and the politicians, the king, queens, call it the royal wedding or royal banqueting. These are all started initially in 1873. And then in Vienna, basically precisely in Vienna, the queen had celebrated the first of its kind. And 1898, 1910 and 1919, Ritz-Carlton had come up with the 7-star facilities. What are the facilities when we say 7-star? That I would brief you in a later stage. Like, now there are 2-star facilities, 3 stars, 4-star, 5 stars, and then you jump to 7 stars. There are 2 7 stars. Now people who know about Middle East, in Dubai you have Burj Al Khalifa and Burj Al Arab. That was earlier with a boat shaped sailing, and then Burj Al Khalifa is the latest one which got added with 184 floors. We will go in detail about the differences between the 5-star and then 7-star, which we are seeing for last 5 to 10 years. In 1923, way back in 1923, Winston Churchill visited a royal banqueting, and I would say 1900, 1905 and 1913, Napoleon Bonaparte had visited such a huge royal banqueting in Nice, that is Paris. And basically for India, 1972 Taj Bombay was managed by Intercontinental, that got opened. And the Grand Paris Hotel got reopened in 2003. I would say this 21st century to start with. 2003 Grand Paris. And to continue with that, more facilities were introduced in Europe and England, in America, New York. Whatever you see, the facilities, it started slowly evolving from 1600 to 1760, then jumped to another 40 years, that is 1800. Holiday resorts were introduced. Earlier it was only meant for requirements, like people who used to travel from one place to another, which I had briefed you in the last week. But then slowly it started, it made a purpose for visitors with the intention of going to do businesses. They had to stay on the way. First, earlier it was only a travel for pilgrims and also for people to see their relatives and friends from one place to another. But later it got really converted. They started taking advantage of the hotels which got started. So then it became a business hotel. And when they thought about business hotel, it was only available with few facilities like stopover, have a quick breakfast in the morning, and then go out for lunch. Even the lunch buffet or a la carte menu or silver service or sit down dinner and pre-plated, all these versions what you see in the hotel in banqueting will come one by one. It's good to know, huge, it's an ocean, hotel industry and hospitality, it's an ocean. Nice to know. As you know better, you will say wow. Wow, when I was with the Holiday Inns, they had given a full form for wow is world of welcome. So we used to create wow. You can always write whatever you want, W-O-W, we say wow. That's an expression when you really get astonished on new thing which you come across. But wow, when you write in full form of those initials, you can also say world of welcome. And the a la carte menu was introduced. And to come to the technical point, the first lift, not the hydraulic, the first lift what you see now, it got very lately in 20th century, but initially first lift was introduced in 1822 in New York, then in 1834 in Geneva in Switzerland. The private bathrooms were introduced, like earlier last week I was telling you that initially the European and the Western countries, they thought more about the bathrooms, which they thought it can be brought inside the hotel, but that too 30-40 people, a huge area. But then only in Geneva, in Switzerland, they thought why not inside the hotel rooms, and inside the hotel rooms the bathrooms and the shower can be built. So this is what slow and steady facilities of various areas like electricity, you can say lift level, music, the food and beverage, it went on happening one by one slowly. And Indian level, I said the first one in Indian level saying wow, the hotel 1972, the first, even the ITC Sheraton in Chennai, what you find, Chola Sheraton, when we call it as 1972 or 74 rather, correct me if I'm wrong. So most of the general manager who are from ITC Sheraton background wanted, or they were a part of this first ever opening Chola Sheraton 5-star in Indian level in 1974, which you find in Chennai in Cathedral Road. So most of the general managers who are ex or who are in the ITC group, like ITC earlier used to have Indian Tobacco Company, they thought of bringing in a hospitality division in their profile and portfolio, like diversification. So the hotel was open, but all the general managers, most of them I would say, who are the GMs of the ITC Sheraton are or was part of the Chennai Chola Sheraton. Until late 90s, I would say, after 95, 99, they did not think about another brand to be added to ITC, because ITC had only one brand called Sheraton. Whereas you can say the competition in the world was IHG, what you see now is Intercontinental Hotels Group, which got merged in 2005 with Holiday Inn, 4-star, Crown Plaza, which was already a part of the Holiday Inns, and then Intercontinental, who was fighting in the market, like they are competitors for, they were the competitors until 2005. When I was in Bahrain, this happened, the merging took place, that is Intercontinental Hotels and Holiday Inn and Crown Plaza got merged. So now we are brothers, we don't fight in the market. Three of us, we provide Intercontinental Hotels, 5-star, and then the Middle East strong brand Crown Plaza, and American brand 4-star Holiday Inn, got merged. Holiday Inn used to be only 4-star earlier, but then lately after 2005-6 they thought of another 3-star hotel in the Holiday Inns called Holiday Express, which could be between 50 to 60, 70 rooms or not beyond 100. Whereas this is what we will specify later, what are the number of rooms supposed to be in a 2-star, what are the number of rooms supposed to be in a 3-star and a 4-star, 5-star and a 7-star. We will come back closely. Coming back to ITC Sheraton, late 90s they thought of thinking about a 3-star brand. So they thought only 5-star will be enough. So they were holding only the 5-star guest, servicing them, but they were losing the other area, because if you see last 20 odd years, the technicians, the manager, earlier only the owners used to take flights and fly across and stay in star hotels, but now lately last 10 years, 12 years after the economical reform started from late 90s or early 90s, when the president, the prime minister, the Congress party was in place. Then they opened the economical reforms. Mr. Narasimha Rao, he opened it, and then from that time even the company managers, the second level, even now lately the supervisors and technicians are flying in the flights, because the rate has come down, and also a lot of people started using the hotels. So in late 90s they thought like we should have a 4-star brand or a 3-star rather. So ITC brought in a Fortune brand. Late 90s, 99, I would say 2000 onwards, they started bringing in this brand. So ITC has 2 brands now, Sheraton as well ITC Fortune. In Chennai you have in all over. That time when I was with them during 2005 and 6, they had only 28 precisely ITC Fortune hotels. I was the regional sales manager based in Chennai and Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala. I had 17 properties to report in Chennai, that is the regional office to me as far as the sales and marketing was concerned. They had only 28 ITC Fortune hotels throughout India. The target was to make it from 28 to 45 in the next 5 years. I was with them for about a couple of years in Chennai limits. Then I quit and then I went back to Muscat. Now we will continue what I did in Muscat in the next week. Now to continue, during every time I speak regarding the travel I had in the industry, I will also put a small question for me to understand that you are understanding and you are with the line I am talking to you. If you have any questions, if I am fast, you are not understanding, you are able to grab, it's fine. Otherwise you can ask me questions, put it in the comments column. Now I will also put one or small questions for you to answer, so that we can select at least couple of them in a month, or every week we can select 2 people to answer if they have answered it correctly. The first question is, like last time I briefed, me and my colleague in telephone operator's room, we worked for 6 months without a third person to come and relieve us. For 6 months we worked without any off, 12 hours every day. End of the 6th month we had saved 6 months leave, that is paid leave. A big question, how? After you work for 6 months, how do you get 6 months paid leave? I am putting this question to you, please answer, and if you are not able to, ask me how. I will explain to you the next week to come. And also a lot of things to know, like we used to have a term called CET, which is called cross exposure training. If you want to take a transfer from one department to another, you cannot merely jump saying that I don't like this place to work, I don't like this department, I have a fight with my colleague, or I don't like my boss and the supervisor is taking advantage of my sincerity. A lot of questions. But then if you keep complaining about your own department and you want to go elsewhere, that is from the front office, if you want to go to F&B, or if you want to go to sales and marketing, that's not permittable, that's not allowed because of some genuine reasons. So there is a way, and there are processing papers you have to do, and then you have to go through your proper channel, that's the existing department. If at all you want to have a jump, that is a transfer or a promotion within your department or to other department. A lot of interesting things to come up next week. I hope you enjoyed this talk, and then let me know your comments. If you have not become members so far, please do subscribe and ring the bell button and support us. This is Muscat Rajkumar speaking to you on the RajKumar Hotel Heroes YouTube platform. Nice to have you back, and then I'll see you all next week once again. Thank you very much. Ciao.